to everyone world over. It's a pleasure to have you for yet another Friday evening, our special program, which is on water management strategies. And today, ladies and gentlemen, there is going to be a very special, innovative presentation for all of us, which we wish to share. And we have got a very distinguished guest with us this evening, Mr. Clifford D'Souza, Associate Vice President, that's the Technology Division for the Ion Exchange India Limited. He is with us from Mumbai, and we have got Mr. Anil Manocha, Executive Director, Ion Exchange Asia Pacific Private Limited with Singapore. And at the same time, we also got two technical experts with us today. If we are in a position to show something from our side, we will try. And with these words, a very, very hearty welcome to Mr. Clifford D'Souza and Mr. Anil Manocha. And let me roll quickly on the slides and we move on. International Chamber for Service Industry, ICSI, since 1994. When we talk about non-resident Indians, so we have been getting them together on a common platform, and then in 2003, there was a Bharatiya Pravasi Divas origin, then the Prime Minister of India, late Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji. So we had very special occasions and a journey and a constant journey every Friday with Mr. Anil Manocha ji. The other day, the Honorable Ratan Lal Kataria ji, the Minister for Jal Shakti, State Minister, he was with us. And then we had a special guest of honor, Arushi Nishank ji, that is on the World Youth Day, that is on 12th of August, very special program which we held. Now, heartiest congratulations to India's Prime Ministers, India's Education Minister, Skill Minister, everybody together. And then, of course, there are some new pedagogies, new andragogies, new vision, creativity, dynamism, skills, competencies, whatever you want to talk about. This new education policy, once it gets implemented, there will be a new dimension to the world. Water conservation is very, very important, and we always believe this particular series starts right from home to the school, school to the college, college to the university, university to the working place, and that ecosystem when we talk about. And during this pandemic also, we have been telling in each and every webinar of ours that water conservation, every drop of water is very important for all of us, how to save it. And if you want to start from your respective residences, then women empowerment is very important because it's the lady who makes. Thereafter, youth empowerment. That's again very important. India has got a huge population of the youth, and soon you will be finding that the figure what would be touching when we cross China and India becomes the most populous country of the world. You can well imagine, and the age bracket, and when you take the whole figure into consideration, it is amazing, this youth. So in education ecosystem, with youth, you require teachers empowerment. Our chamber from morning till evening, almost about 12 hours every day, we have got a beaming across the entire world, all the continents, different timings, different time zones, different conditions. People are in different frames and different minds sets at present. This is, with the help of the non-resident Indians world over, we set up India's first finishing school network that is for the services sector. What you term nowadays as a soft skills, your etiquette, manners, gesture, body language, articulation, communication skills, your personality enhancement, your creative thinking, logical thinking, analytical thinking, out of the box thinking, anything you want to talk it, all that is plugged into soft skills. And ultimately that's shifting to life skills. Our chamber is organizing almost 24 to 25 programs throughout the week. You have got all programs making education relevant. It has got micro, small, medium enterprise also. It has got Ayurveda also. It has got teachers. It has got counselors. It has got schools, colleges, universities, polytechnics, ITIs, and skill centers and training providers and Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. Nowadays, we are with the Skill Council of Media Entertainment. Before that, we were with the health sector. Then we were with the wellness sector. then entrepreneurship sector, and every Saturday and Sunday, like tomorrow evening and day after tomorrow evening, 8 p.m., you will have non-resident Indians joining us from world over, and they will be deliberating what is the new education policy and what all is to be done into that. And 12:30 in the afternoon, you have got all the youngsters from the whole world getting together on a common platform. What does today's youth want? And what are the opportunities available for them in future? This is on Ayurveda, that is tomorrow evening. Then Swami Vivekananda's teaching also very, very seriously every Saturday in the evening at today, like it's on the water. Tomorrow you will have Swami Vivekananda. Sunday morning we take it to the United States and where we talk about an integrated series of Srimad Bhagavad Gita and 10 principal Upanishad. This is, we go on Sunday evening at 3 p.m. to ASEAN, and this is 5 p.m. on Sunday, that is day after tomorrow, Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise, the former CMD of the NSIC, under the aegis of, this is as a CSR activity, we have taken care of 500,000, and if I talk in Indian terms, 5 lakh youth. Their free coaching, mathematics, chemistry, physics, mental ability, biology, and social studies, what we have done, and that is free coaching for them for the National Scholarship Exam, which is coming Sunday. So 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th, that's what we have done with all the youth. This is with the Media Entertainment Sector Skill Council of Government of India, and this is the program which was on since morning today at 10 o'clock. We had about 5,000 principals across the world together, and that was basically deliberating what is the future of education. And today we focused on school education. Then tomorrow we have got higher education and then technical education. We extend a very hearty welcome, a very warm welcome this evening to Mr. Clifford D'Souza, that is Associate Vice President, Technology Division, Ion Exchange India Limited, and he is based out of Mumbai. Mr. D'Souza has contributed 34 years to the water treatment industry in core areas of research and development on drinking water purification technologies for homes and commercial applications, solutions for groundwater contamination, high purity water systems for pharmaceutical and biotech when we talk about applications, water vending and bottling solutions for hospitality and mass transit use. He is corporate technical training resource and have trained frontline team, design team, etc. to manage water system effectively. He is a member of Food and Agriculture Department and Bureau of Indian Standards for Water Purification. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in extending a very warm welcome this evening to Mr. Clifford D'Souza. I recall during my academy days way back in 1972 or so, one of my closest friends, he was from Goa. His name was Clifton Marcus. Yours is a Clifford and that is a Clifton Marcus. Clifton Marcus is the one because I come from a village background. I come from a government school in a village remote corner. Every evening he used to take me to the anteroom in the army area of training and he used to teach me English songs. So this evening from Mr. Clifford D'Souza, we are going to learn something on to the water management. But before that, let me switch over and flip over because nowadays everybody is talking about flipped learning and blended learning. So I'm going to take you to a blended learning. I take you to Singapore, where our senior advisor, Mr. Anil Manocha ji, he is going to share today's thought process, and he may also wish to give a little overview what all we have covered so far and how we are proceeding, what all we have got in vision in future. With these words, Shri Anil Manocha ji.
Good day, everybody. It's nice to be here again with all of you. Thank you, Gulshan ji, for creating that platform so that we can share what we do in the field of water industry. I will be sharing my screen. Today we will be talking about home water solutions. And while we do that, while we do that, I will just before that, I will try to take you to what we have done so far. Today is the 8th webinar in which we'll be talking the subject of home water purification systems for indoor and outdoor. If you look at the images today, you could see the images which we generally encompass when we do water uses in homes or outside. While we take a shower, while we drink water, or whatever we do, we come across with this. Now, if you look at water management is not a quick fix. It's need long-term commitment. And
Manoj sir, would you like to increase the size of your picture because people are watching it on the mobile phones also at different
okay,
locations if
sure,
possible? Yeah,
perfect.
thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, okay, sure. So, what we said is water management is not a quick fix. It needs long-term commitment. And if we if any of you who were present last time and we talked about Singapore water story, it was very clear that it took 40 years for Singapore to convert from a water stressed nation to a 24 by 7 water supply. And while we try to do water management, a lot of aspects came of handling the social issues, handling the communication issues, handling the planning issues, also handling the technological issues. So if we look, when we try to fix water, it's not only water, it involves all aspects of life. By now, we have covered, we had close to 11 speakers. And if you look at the cumulative experience of all these speakers put together, they would have done close to, they have close to 200 years of service experience in water sector. We'll touch upon the key learning so far. We'll also share previous webinar links and then straight brief introduction about what we do today. Now, before we do that, this is a news item, which was on 8th December, that Wall Street in US has started trading in water futures. Now, if you look at this scenario, just imagine water is getting a important position and is compared like other commodities like gold or oil. So what it is anticipated is because of water shortage, unless we trade water, we will not be able to bring intrinsic value or true value to water. And this is, and if you go down further, when you see in the red, about $1.1 billion worth of contracts are tied with water pricing in California alone. So this brings a sensitivity and importance to water issue. Now, so far in the last 7 webinars, we have covered the supply aspect of water. When we talk about supply aspect of water, we have covered the river water, we have covered the groundwater, we have covered the related pollutions to river water and groundwater, and we have also talked about the treatment concepts and technology. Treatment concepts or the process engineering concepts, and all the speakers have come and given their mind to all of us. We also talked about water uses in agriculture sector. So we had a speakers who talked about how water is used or abused in agriculture sector, and they said that there's a scope of increasing the water efficiency by 50%, and so that means you can bring down the water uses by half with the same type of crop which you produce today. And also some speaker talked about how the crop can be processed to give economic value to the water. Also, we talked about how water can be economically used as a waterway, and a speaker talked about how commercially or how economically it will be beneficial if we use waterways for transportation, for movement, for living, and all those things. After covering from water supply to water demand, then we talked about how the water crisis have been managed. So we had a speaker who talked about Cape Town water story, how the Cape Town from zero, they moved to 80% to 80% dam levels. We talked the concepts of circular economy. We shared the concept of Singapore water story, and we also package it with the education, what education sector can do and what type of gaps can be identified and trained through a educational interface in our programs. Now, anybody who want to get into this can get these following links. All these webinars are available, and anybody who want to get into this can definitely go through this. Now, today's talk is by Clifford, and before we get into today's talk, let's pause for a moment and see what is written in red line. This is a news item of 6th December in Andhra Pradesh, where 227 people were hospitalized. And if you read today's 2 hours before newspaper in Aluru village, the mystery is still unsolved whether the contamination came from water or it came from food. And they are suspecting that it came from vegetables and fishes. But at end of the day, when you try to identify the source, it is leading to untreated, polluted water getting discharged into the river. So this incident has come to the light in which a lot of children have been affected, a lot of people have been affected. So this is a grave problem, and this again brings the importance of everybody to have some sort of water knowledge, to have some sort of information that how they should be using the water. And whatever pictures you see that's on the daily use, we come across taps, we come across faucets, we come across showers, and we also come across the bottles. Now we have intentionally shown a glass bottle here just to sensitize the effect of a plastic which creates. If you look at the plastic which we use a one throwaway type bottles which we use, and we just buy and throw. This plastic which goes when to the land, it how it affects a marine and aquatic life, you can see 700 marine species might go extinct because of plastic pollution. So all of us have a role to play in minimizing this plastic uses. And if we cannot change ourselves from drinking water from tap because of safety issues, we can definitely go for a reusable bottles, and we can go for a glass bottles. So this is what Clifford will be talking today. These are certain concepts, when we design our system, when we spend thousands of rupees. This picture that you see on the left hand side is a simple device where when you wash your hands, the water goes to toilet for flushing your toilet. So this is a water saving device. And the second what you see, you may pay slightly few hundred rupees more for a tap, which is a sensor. The tap will automatically shut when the hand is taken out from the tap. So simple devices, if we use and becomes sensible in water uses, can help us to save and conserve water. This is another picture of a car park. Now, if you see the car park, you will see a bit of a greenery. Now, this greenery has not come artificially. This greenery has come because intentionally the space between the wheels has been kept blank so that rainwater can seep into the earth, and you will not face a flooding problem which normally we see in buildings because of concretization. The water flooding takes place. And second picture is, a lot of us feel proud of organic farming, a lot of us feel proud of domestic grown vegetables. If we use a simple concepts of drip irrigation, we can use simple concepts of home water conservation techniques, we can contribute a lot. With this note, I will hand over the floor to Clifford, and let us hear from Clifford. Clifford, over to you. Thank you. You have to unmute Clifford yourself.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. So I will start away straight away. Share yeah. Add that I come from a company, Ion Action India Limited, a company with this industry. And there are some areas which has been already elaborated in the slide, and which Dr. Gulshan has mentioned. Okay, so moving on to the subject of interest. drinking water purification for homes. Now we will talk about what are the different concepts that are available for water purification, what are our concerns, and what are our solutions. The biggest question that comes to any individual when it comes to water purification is, how do I select a water purifier? You will see there are so many of them. The green one is a RO, there's tap attachment, there's a gravity filter, there's a UV purifier. But to a common man, this is a big question mark as to what I should buy. Okay, so we will unravel all these key questions as we move ahead. Now, coming to contaminants in water that worry us. So there's a picture of a man holding a lens and trying to look. But basically, you cannot get into that water. It's all invisible. So let's see what all is there in the water. Okay. Now, most of us are aware that the ingression of contaminants come through the industry, through farming, to gas leaks, animals, bad sanitation, chemical industries. They all go down into the ground and even in the open waters, and finally it comes to your tap and that blessed glass of water that you're about to drink. So our question is, what are the contaminants in water? There are three categories of contaminants that we're talking about: physical, chemical, and microbiological. Now you have a glass of water on the table. One looks clear, one is slightly bad, and one is still worse. Fortunately, you can see that contamination. There's clay, mud, sand, and some organic suspensions. Some are seen and some are dissolved and not seen. So there is a threat here. There's a threat and there's a fear that looking at the water, I feel this water is not safe for me for drinking. Okay, this is the first concern. Coming to chemical contaminants. Now this is the worst part of it. In this glass, although I have marked, generally you cannot see these contaminants. They're all hidden, they're invisible, but it's a potential threat which needs to be taken care when you're buying a water purifier. Okay, so you have like lead, which is dangerous to health, it's toxic. You have pesticides, which comes from pesticide farm use. You have chlorine, chloramine, whatnot. Okay, so this is all to be taken care when you're buying or selecting a water purifier. The third threat and the most dangerous threat is disease-causing microorganisms like bacteria, salmonella, virus, okay? And they cause different diseases to us, which are listed down there. So let's go to see what are the popular methods that people employ or people like to use, would like to use for the purification. The first obvious one is, what comes to our mind is boiling of water. When there's nothing available or when you cannot afford, what comes to your mind is boiling of water. Second, ultraviolet disinfection using UV rays. Third, reverse osmosis-based purification. Okay, it's a term RO used in the industry today. We will see what it is as we go on. Then we have ultrafiltration, which is a slightly better form of filtration which removes microbes. We also see what it does. And last, which is also there in the market, prevalent in the market, is non-electric type of purifiers, which are based on halogens like chlorine, bromine, iodine. They are media, and these media purify the water. Okay, so let's go ahead. Boiling. Most of us know that boiling denatures the microorganism. Generally, you have to boil well, and as it boils, you have to keep it boiling for at least 1 minute to kill the bacteria, virus, and protozoa. There are some recommendations that the water should be boiled for slightly more time. That depends on the threat of microorganisms. Some of them are very stubborn, they don't die. Also, it depends upon the altitude at which you're boiling. Also, it depends on the type of water, the property of the water. But generally, it is boiling for 1 minute after it boils. This gives a very good germicidal kill. UV disinfection. So you see a picture of a UV lamp. UV lamp here. This lamp emits UVC rays. UVC rays are meant to be deadly. They can penetrate cell walls, okay, and they destroy the DNA structure of the microbe, and that's how you get a kill, clean kill. And so you have a UV cell in which the water enters from here, passes through it, and then through the chamber jacket comes out, purified from microorganisms. So this process gives us a good germicidal kill. You have UV rays disrupt the DNA of the microorganism, but it cannot remove dissolved salts and chemical impurities. This is a drawback of this UV technology. It can give you only a good microbial kill. Now, how does this product look like? Let's have a look. There are these storage type wall mount models, which are to be fixed on a wall, and they have a storage inside, so that in the event of a power going out or something, there's no water, you have a backup of 4 to 6 liters or 10 liters of water in the UV purification system. Then there are other models which are online. What is meant by online is you need continuous water. If you feed in water, you get water at the outlet. So these are online wall-mounted models. Now, as we move on, let's understand what are the contaminants and what are the sizings. If you see the chart, and if you see below, there are different micron ratings, starting from right from 0.001, 0.01, 0.1, they are micron, very small. You can have an example, for example, you have a human hair here. A human hair is about 50 microns. Thickness diameter of a hair is around 50 microns. So you can imagine as you go down the line, how small the particles become and how small, for example, the virus could be in the range of 0.00, 0.05, or the other atomic radius, for example, is very small. So you have right from soluble content to particles which are big in size, for example, human hair or dust. Now, for example, RO has a range of 0.001, so small, to 0.01. Okay, and UF is 0.01 to 0.1. So you can see from the band that is covered, the RO almost covers the entire band. Sorry, let me go back 1 minute. Sorry for that. Okay. So, as I was saying, the RO takes on the entire band that you can have, you can remove everything from the water. Okay. Now, generally in the RO purifier, you have these stages. You have stage 1, which is a pre-filter, stage 2, which is a sediment filter, stage 3, which is a carbon filter, and then you have a RO or NF or a UV, depending on the choice of technology. So a sediment filter will generally remove mud, clay, sand particles. The activate carbon filter, which is basically activate charcoal, removes chlorine, organics, odor, and color. Ultrafiltration. Ultrafiltration is also a very good concept. You can see that on the top of the membrane, there are parasites, bacteria, salts, many other contaminants. But what the ultrafilter will do is that it will block all these organisms, but it will allow filtered water, a good clarity water, but it cannot block salts or dissolved contaminants. So the disadvantage of ultrafiltration is that it will give you high clarity water and it will block, the advantage would be it would block all microorganisms. So you have UF membrane with fine pores, removes microbes, colloidal particles, but it cannot remove dissolved salts and organics. Moving on, you have the halogenated disinfection media, which you can see it could be either bromine, chlorine, or iodine based. Basically, they are resin, very small fine particles, right from 0.2 millimeter to 1 millimeter. And they are packed basically in cartridges. And this is how it works. You have the iodine and chlorine, which oxidizes the cell wall, and it disinfects the water by directly attacking the DNA of the virus or bacteria. Moving on, you have different forms of this product, which is, I think, very familiar to you. On the left-hand side, you have the storage purifier. Okay, you have the water poured in and you have filtered water down here. Same thing with this. And on the extreme right, you have a tap attachment, something which fits on the tap and directly gives you purified water. This is our brand, the Ion Exchange brand. This small cartridge gives you around 6,000 liters of purified water for one life cycle. Now, how to select a water purifier? Very important question, and if you observe carefully, probably this is what will unravel and tell you the whole story. If your objective is safety from disease causing microbes, removal of bad color and odor, and water clarity is not so important, or hard taste is not an issue, then you can go in for a UV purifier. Why we are saying TDS up to 200 ppm? Because over this TDS is total dissolved salts in water. Over this, the UV lamps or the UV quartz lamp tends to get scaled with the salts in the water. So this technology is much suited for low TDS water, low hard water, low TDS water. Okay. If your objective is safety from disease causing microbes, removal of bad color and odor, water clarity is very important, but taste is not important, and something like TDS up to 500 ppm is tolerable to you, then UF would be the purifier for you. You'll get highly clear water, free from germs, microbes. This will serve your purpose. Objective 3, if you want safety from disease causing microbes, removal of bad color and odor, removal of all chemical contaminants, removal of excess salts from water. That is what is important to the taste of water. Sometimes if water is hard, it is not tasty, doesn't taste good. We call it khara pani. And the water which doesn't have salt, we call it tasty water or meeta pani. Okay, something like that. So that's one thing. And plus, RO will give you high clarity water, which is good to taste. So RO is a choice for this product. And the last one, if your objective is safety from disease, but you have a problem, you have no running water, you have no power, and taste is not an issue, then you can go in for the fourth option, that is non-electric halogenated media-based purifier. So you have in front of you most of the products and technology. This tells you what to select based on your desires, based on your needs for removal of contaminants and your fear of threat. Now, let us see what are the most common myths on water purifier. We have a lot of questions in our mind. Does this technology do this or that? So let's see what it is. Very obviously, people say boiling is enough to purify water. So let's see. Yes, boiling is good enough to kill pathogens if sourced from a well-treated surface water. When your water is unknown to you, for example, if you have groundwater where there are chemicals or other contaminants, then this process is not good enough. It will only take care of the microbes, but unknown chemicals or other contaminants can come into your water. So there's a limitation on this. So this is the myth, not a myth rather. Basically, it's very clear that boiling gives you a certain advantage. Second myth, RO purifiers waste a lot of water in the drain. Let's see. Yes, conventional foam RO purifiers waste almost 70 to 80% water. That is, if you want to make 1 glass of pure water, you have to waste 3 glasses of water in the drain, because the RO system has got in, it has got out for pure water, and it's got a reject third line where almost 70 to 80% water is thrown out continuously. But there's that there are improved processes for this water recovery. For example, the Zero B brand that we have got, Ion Exchange has got the whole equation reversed. It has 80% recovery and only 20% wastage. So this is a phenomenal saving of water, and very important for us, especially when we are using water for homes and even for industries. So our attempt is to get more water and waste less water at home and even for the industrial RO purification systems. So when you buy a purifier, you must insist that your RO purifier should have a recovery at least 80%, because in the market today, not all the products have got 80% recovery. Some have got 30, 40, 50, but insist on having at least 40% recovery. The third myth: purified water from RO purifier is always acidic. We hear that, and we have to sometimes explain. But the fact is that generally RO purifier makes the water close to 7 pH, depending on the constituents of dissolved water and gases in the inlet water. Yes, but sometimes the RO purifier tend to produce slightly acidic water, specifically if there are some containers and CO2 in the inlet water. So CO2 will not be removed by RO. It will just come out, since it is a dissolved gas, it will come out and it will form carbonic acid. That's how your water becomes acidic. But today, fortunately, most RO purifiers have a pH improvement cartridge post the RO. After the RO, most of them have pH correction cartridge. So that takes care of it. The fourth myth: RO removes all the essential minerals required for good health. Very, very important question, where even in our country, where we have different institutions, they are fighting for this, that RO should be banned. RO removes all the essential minerals. Very important topic of discussion. Okay, so yes, it is true that RO removes almost 90% of the mineral from the inlet water. Specifically, if you have tap water with TDS of, let's say, for example, 50, you will probably get 0 or only 5 ppm of TDS in the product water. Okay, so that's a situation, yes. But the fact is that the minerals required for our body does not come from water alone, but it comes majorly from our food. And this is the question, and this is the answer we have been giving right from the time we launched, when we were in fact, Ion Exchange launched the first RO purifier way back in 90s. So when we launched the RO purifier, we started replacing the UV at the homes. There were publications and there were cross questions saying that RO is very bad for health. It removes all the minerals, so do not use RO water. That's the advocacy that were there in the publication. But we had one answer. The answer is that the minerals required for the body does not come from water alone. It comes from diet. Also, there's a very clear proof that low TDS water does not do any damage. There's a clear proof in the environment around us. For example, suppose if we talk about the snow caps, there's only ice, just pure water, no minerals, ice over ice, ice over ice over ice. So when you measure the TDS of the water, it is 0. And habitations have survived for millions of years with 0 TDS water. So how come you answer that? So it means that low TDS water does not damage your body, because essentially the minerals come from food. But to add to it, today most of the RO purifiers, the last point says that, have a mineralizing cartridge, not for giving you that additional mineral. It is because low TDS water is very bad to taste. Distilled water doesn't taste good. If you take distilled water and try to drink it, it is very insipid. So you have to have some minerals. That is the reason this is given, and not from the health point of view. So that takes care of the third point. Okay. Fifth point: just chlorinated tap water is safe for consumption. Many people say that हमारा पानी chlorinated है, हमको तो purify की जरूरत ही नहीं है. Well, the answer is that yes, chlorine does adequately make the water safe, but most of you are probably not aware that chlorine byproducts such as trihalometane, that's TAHM, which is listed there. Basically, chlorine, when it reacts with organics in your tap water or in your pipeline or in your lake, which is lake water which is treated, it forms a deadly carcinogenic compound called as THM, which is reported, well documented, to be carcinogenic to human beings. So this has to be removed. There are different methods to remove it in a water purifier. It needs to be removed. Okay. So this is what it says, that although it removes the germicidal contamination, there are other threats related to chlorine in the water. The last one is an activated carbon filter can remove most chemical impurities. Some people have a good purifier at home. हम पूछते हैं कौन सा purifier है? हमारे घर पे carbon filter है. Carbon filter सब कुछ निकालता है. Well, the answer is that carbon filter can only remove chlorine, some organics, bad color, and bad odor. Okay, it cannot remove chemical contamination, nor can it remove microbial contamination. So it is just a kind of a filter which does some little thing with your water and some partial treatment. It doesn't make the water safe for drinking. But that's on myth on water. So we spoke about drinking water purification at home, and let me capture. So you have the UV purifiers, you have the RO purifiers, you have ultrafiltration, you have boiling, and last you have halogenated media, which are generally the cheaper version of the purifier because they don't have any electronics in that, they don't have any complications in that. It's a very simple purifier. So you have a choice of 4 to 5 technologies for purification of water at home. Now, coming to the important topic of water and its correlation with plastic, as Mr. Anil Monacha mentioned. This is a very important topic to make you aware that we have a lot of solutions consciousness to save the environment. Okay, so moving forward, for example, if you go to airports, you will see a model there which the lady is taking that is called as a water dispensing system, and besides that, on the silver, besides that, you see a water fountain. So you have there, okay, you have there a freestanding water dispenser which will give you hot and cold water. It can be the RO or UV based. Now with this, you have to use a dispensable paper cup or your own bottles. Now, this is certainly eco-friendly and not a concern. This is encouraged and we like it. Okay, so our consciousness tells us that this is something which we have to do and not buy a water bottle from a shop at the airport. This is available to us. Okay. At offices, you can see that the lady is taking water from a freestanding bubble top dispenser. It has got a hot and cold option. Okay, it can have a RO or a UV, depending on if this water is safe, then it directly can be consumed. Sometimes these dispensers are connected to we have a built-in RO or UV system. Okay, all these 3 options are available. Now here again, you can have your own glass, paper cups, or own bottles. So here it says eco-friendly and not a concern for us. So we must make the best use of such kind of drinking water options available to us at the office. At bus stations, look at the scenario. Okay, so you have, sometimes at the bus station, you have water coolers with multiple points and even built-in water purifiers, which are RO or UV based. You carry your own bottles, fill them up, and reuse the bottles. That's the whole mantra, that you use and reuse the bottles. So it is eco-friendly and not a concern to us. At railway stations, you see, you can see the brand got a 0B again. This is water ATM. Water ATMs are getting more and more popular at bus stands, at railway stations. They are either coin-based, smart card-based, or manual-based. Now, in this case, you have a normal and cold water option. Technology could be RO and UV. You use dispensable cups, own bottles, or paid plastic bottle. The important thing is you have to pay for the plastic bottle. So therefore, you will tend to use it again and again. That's the whole idea. So again here, it is eco-friendly and not a concern to us. So try to use bottled water available at station and this concept. Now, what happens at events and sports ground? The picture is very clear. People supply packaged water bottles for the athletes or for the participants, because this is the only option that we see today on the playgrounds. Okay, so this is certainly not eco-friendly from the plastic point of view and is a concern. Okay, moving ahead. Inside trains and long distance journeys, what are our options? Very little options. you offered packaged water bottle in plastic or in pouches. So you have to take them and use them or carry your own bottle. So this is again not eco-friendly, a concern to us. Going ahead. Wow. At the lavish banquets and conferences, a well spread of food and bottles, water bottles, which is a very, very familiar picture here. Okay. So you have packaged water in plastic bottles there, a big concern. Okay. Especially for the hotel industry. Also in the rooms that you stay, you will have these kind of bottles, maybe 500 ml bottle per room, 2 bottles offered in the plate there. Okay, so it's packaged water bottle in plastic, not eco-friendly, a concern to us. So drinking water purification outside the home is certainly a grave concern because there are very limited options. Okay, and the options that I've shown you, some of them, if we are conscious of that and we try to make the most use of that, probably it is green. But if you're careless and you tend to use other options, then it is red for us. Okay. Hence, our quest is to refresh the planet, making it plastic-free water packaging. That's our goal. Okay. So as an endeavor of Ion Exchange, we have done and we have presented some options here. Okay. Option 1, which is not a very good option, you have branded mineral water bottles. Name them. You have these brands which are there, and they are very, very expensive. So only the affluent can afford that, but they come in glass bottles, and that's not a concern. Okay, this is option 1. Option 2, which is now getting popular, is serving bottle in reusable glass bottles. You can see a bottle there with a swing cap. So you fill water, good water into that, lock the bottle there, and you serve it in your banquets or keep it in your rooms. This is getting more and more popular. Okay, but there are some challenges in serving this water in reusable glass bottles. We had noticed this, and we had even experienced this kind of challenge. I have obviously a thought in his mind, ये शायद नल के ऐसे भरा हुआ होगा, or probably somebody dipped his finger in that. I'm not sure whether the bottles have been washed properly. I'm not sure whether the bottles have been cleaned properly. What is the source of water? So this is a question that comes there. Okay, so people are a little bit reluctant to use this water. Now, the option to this is that you have to have a proper in-house bottling facility to take care of all the concerns that I told you: purity of water, handling, cleaning, presenting it in a proper format. You need to have an in-house bottling facility, because the moment you go for outsourcing it, it becomes very expensive from the logistics point of view. There are some people who do that, but in-house happens to be very, very viable, and sometimes even the customer have a peek into how the water is being made in-house, and then they get a little bit of confidence. So these are 2 things which I like to share, the apprehension and the way out on that. Okay, so the answer to that is
Malhotra ji, you can hear?
No, sir, I cannot.
I can't hear him.
No, I cannot. And it has gone still.
I don't know, because I'm still at apprehension only.
No, I cannot
Very,
even.
where he was talking about. So after
Yeah.
that, I think we lost the signal.
Yes.
So
Should I take on?
by the time, yeah, I think if he
Yeah.
comes, it's fine. Otherwise, we can just take it forward.
Okay.
I have got a small concern which I wanted to share with you.
Sure, please.
कि first of all, the question comes to my mind कि भारत आज भी गांव में रहता है और इस प्रोग्राम को देखने वाले बहुत सारे लोग गांव के भी हैं। तो क्या सबसे पहले प्यूरिफायर, वाटर प्यूरिफायर की आवश्यकता है? अगर एक गांव का आदमी है जिसको नहीं पता है, अब वो बहुत सारी चीजों को नहीं समझता है, खेती बाड़ी कर रहा है, गांव में है, सब कुछ है, सारी चीजें हैं। फिर उन्होंने ये भी बताया, मैं जान के हिंदी में बोल रहा हूँ क्योंकि
हाँ
कुछ
जी,
ऐसे लोग भी इस
हाँ।
प्रोग्राम को देख रहे हैं जिन्होंने मुझे रिक्वेस्ट किया कि आज का जो प्रोग्राम है वो हमारे लिए भी बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है,
ठीक
तो
बात।
डॉक्टर साहब कोशिश कीजिएगा कि आप थोड़ा हिंदी में भी बात करें। मैंने कहा जरूर। मैंने कहा मैं उनको डसूजा साहब को तो नहीं कह पाऊंगा बिकॉज उनको हिंदी
बोलेंगे,
नहीं पढ़,
हिंदी में बोल देंगे।
लेकिन वो बड़ी अच्छी हिंदी बोलते हैं, बड़ी अच्छी
हाँ,
हिंदी बोलते हैं। सो कंसर्न ये है, पहली बात तो सबसे पहला प्रश्न ये है कि क्या वाटर प्यूरिफायर की जरूरत है, क्या इसके बगैर काम चल सकता है? पहला बात तो ये है सवाल। दूसरा, उन्होंने एक बड़ी अच्छी बात कही जो मैं भी, उन्होंने कहा है कि भाई वाटर प्यूरिफायर आपको सेफ्टी चाहिए बीमारी से, टेस्ट से, किस चीज से चाहिए तो वो भी आपको समझना पड़ेगा। और दूसरा उन्होंने कहा कि 90% जो मिनरल्स हैं वो पानी में से निकल जाते हैं जब आप आरओ यूज करते हो, ये बात भी सत्य है। तो उन्होंने ये भी समझा दिया कि भाई खाने से आपको न्यूट्रिशन मिलते हैं, ना कि पानी से मिलते हैं। तो मुझे इसके बारे में ज्यादा क्लैरिटी नहीं थी, लेकिन आज क्लैरिटी हुई है। दूसरा, ये जो एप्रीहेंशन वाली इन्होंने बात करी है वो इतनी महत्वपूर्ण है, इतनी जरूरी और इतनी समझदारी की है, क्योंकि मैं खुद भी उस तरीके का ऊपर जब उसका लॉक होता है और वो वायर लगी होती है तो मैं 10 बार सोचता हूँ कि इसका पानी पीना है कि नहीं पीना है। ये तो कहने की बात है, पता नहीं कहाँ से भरा है, ऐसे भर के ना रख दिया हो। सेकेंडली ये है कि मैंने एक साइकोलॉजिकल और चीज महसूस की है, बॉटल की शेप पे भी बहुत कुछ डिपेंड करता है। अगर बॉटल की शेप कुछ ऐसी है जैसे हॉस्पिटल में दी जाती है तो आपको एक सिकनेस की फीलिंग आती है उस बॉटल से और आपको एक अलग सी फीलिंग आती है। लेकिन अगर बॉटल अट्रैक्टिव है तो आपको पानी पीने का भी दिल करता है। तो ये कुछ एक चीज है जो, तो मुझे थोड़ा सा आप बताइए।
हाँ,
इसको लेके चलते हैं। हाँ जी,
ठीक। सबसे पहले मैं ये सवाल लेता हूँ कि क्या गांव में हमें पानी साफ करने की मशीन चाहिए कि नहीं चाहिए? यदि हम ये सोचें कि गांव में क्या पानी खराब होता है, जनरली गांव में जो हमारा नदी है या जो भी पास है वो पानी जनरली पीने योग्य होता है। ऐसा हम नहीं बोल सकते कि जो शहर में पानी है और गांव में पानी है, गांव का पानी डेफिनेटली शहर के पानी से बेटर है। ठीक है,
ठीक है।
गांव में क्या समस्या आती है? गांव में समस्या आती है कि गांव का कई बार पानी पीने से हमें पेट खराब हो जाता है, गैस्ट्रोएंटाइटिस होती है, जो हमारी बायोलॉजिकल प्रॉब्लम है, जो कि हमारे बैक्टीरिया से आ जाती है, जो कि हम जो पानी पीते हैं। तो सबसे पहले मेरे जो गांव के भाई बहन है उनको हमको ये श्योरिटी प्रोवाइड करनी है कि उनको बीमारी ना हो, बैक्टीरिया से रिलेटेड कोई भी कॉन्टेमिनेशन ना हो। तो उसके लिए यदि हम सोचें कि क्या करना चाहिए, तो जो पानी बॉयल करते हैं डेफिनेटली एक अच्छा ऑप्शन है। लेकिन यदि हमें पानी बॉयल नहीं करना है और पानी बॉयल करने में बॉयल करके ठंडा करो, फिर प्रॉपर करो, ठंडे करने में फिर बैक्टीरिया आ जाता है। तो ये जो क्लिफर्ड ने लास्ट में एक छोटा सा अटैचमेंट बताया था जो कि नलके पे लग जाता है, ये मुश्किल से शायद 400-500 रुपए कॉस्ट करता होगा, मेरे को मालूम नहीं, वो जब आएंगे ऑनलाइन तो उनसे पूछ लें। और ये आपको 6-7 लीटर पानी देता है। तो ये 6-7 लीटर पानी एक 400-500 रुपए का सिस्टम देता है। तो यदि हम इसको वर्कआउट करें, वही मैं कैलकुलेशन कर रहा था जब आपका सवाल आया, तो ये 5 पैसा पर लीटर का पानी होता है। यदि आप बॉटल वाटर लेते हैं तो 15 रुपए देते हैं। ये यदि आप एक अटैचमेंट लगा देंगे घर में, तो एक तो सबको सिक्योरिटी मिल गई कि बैक्टीरिया फ्री पानी नहीं मिला, और दूसरा ये है कि 5-10 पैसा यदि हमको देना भी पड़ता है तो एटलीस्ट मेरे गांव में मेरे भाई बहनों को सिक्योरिटी मिल जाती है। तो ये एक ऑप्शन मैं गांव वालों को सजेस्ट करूंगा। मैं उनको कभी नहीं बोलूंगा कि वो एक्सपेंसिव आरओ लें या एक्सपेंसिव टेक्नोलॉजी लें, उसकी हमको जरूरत नहीं है गाँव। और यदि हमको पता चलेगा कि वो कौन से गांव के हैं, कौन सी जगह के हैं, तो जनरली हम लोगों के पास में गांव की वाटर क्वालिटी के टिपिकल डाटा होते हैं, तो जो हम चेक करके ही बता सकते हैं। लेकिन जैसे हम राजस्थान में जाएंगे तो राजस्थान में तो पानी सारा खारा है, वो गांव में जाएंगे तो भी खारा पानी है, तो वहां पे ये सिस्टम काम नहीं करे। राजस्थान में यदि हम जाते हैं तो लोग जो है टंकाज यूज करते हैं, कि आपको याद हो, जो बारिश का पानी है वो बचा के रखते हैं और वो पीते हैं। उस बारिश के पानी में यदि हमको बैक्टीरिया की सेफ्टी चाहिए तो ये छोटा सा अटैचमेंट काम कर जाए, तो उनके लिए उनको महंगे अटैचमेंट की जरूरत नहीं है। तो मैं गांव वालों के लिए तो यही सजेस्ट करूंगा कि हम उस पे जाएं, उस तरीके की सिस्टम को ले लें। जहां तक उन्होंने ये सोचा कि ये ग्लास बॉटल में क्या सेफ्टी होती है क्या नहीं होती है, अब क्लिफर्ड आ गए हैं ऑनलाइन पे, तो मैं ये सवाल
था।
हाँ, ये मैं सवाल उन्हीं के ऊपर छोड़ देता हूँ कि वो आंसर करें। ठीक है क्लिफर्ड, आपको एक जवाब देना है, एक आंसर देना है, हिंदी में दे सकते हो तो बहुत अच्छा है। ये जो ग्लास बॉटल हम यूज करते हैं, इसमें हम कैसे श्योर करें कि ये जो पानी है ये साफ है? ये पानी किसी ने नलके से तो भर के नहीं डाल दी। जो हमारे लोगों को कंसर्न है, जो तुम बोल रहे थे व्हेन यू आर टॉकिंग, तो यदि ये आप एक्सप्लेन करो, बिकॉज ये किसी ने क्वेश्चन पुट किया, गुलशन जी ने मेरे को क्वेश्चन डाला, जब तक आप ज्वाइन नहीं करते हैं तो मैं ये लेता हूँ, बट आप आ गए हो तो बेटर है कि आप ही इसका आंसर दो।
यस श्योर,
आपका आंसर शायद आने वाली प्रेजेंटेशन में निकल जाएगा, तो जो आपको ठीक लगता है आप इसको टेकअप कर लीजिए। और यदि आप हिंदी में आगे प्रेजेंटेशन कंटिन्यू कर पाएंगे तो बहुत अच्छा हो जाएगा। काफी लोग
हिंदी में करता हूँ,
गाँव से जुड़े हुए हैं तो उनको भी आसानी हो जाएगी। ठीक है,
हिंदी में करता हूँ।
आप आ जाइए, अब आप आ जाइए स्क्रीन पे।
थैंक यू जी, थैंक यू।
हाँ जी।
तो मैं ये कह रहा था कि जब बॉटल पे कोई सील नहीं होती है तो लोगों के मन में एक डाउट आ जाता है ये पानी नलके से भरा हुआ है। ओके, ऑल्सो और ये भी बात है कि जब ये होटल इंडस्ट्री ने जब अडॉप्ट किया ये जो स्विंग कैप वाली, तो उन्होंने फिर डिफरेंट मेथड्स अपनाए उसमें। आरओ, किसी ने आरओ का पानी भरा, किसी ने कुछ और टेक्नोलॉजी का पानी भरा। तो दैट इज अ टाइम वेयर द your FSSAI, that is the Food Safety and Standard Authority of India, stepped in. And उन्होंने कहा कि अगर आप पानी इसमें भर रहे हो, that water needs to meet the standard of drinking water, that is IS 10500, number one. Number two, there needs to be a seal. I'm coming to the next slide. There needs to be a seal on that, which will say that the water has been properly packed and it is not contaminated, and therefore the seal on the cap signifies that it has come from the source, it is bottled and it has not been tampered with. Okay, now moving ahead, you see what I mean. I'll go to the next slide now. If you see the points below where your FSSI is saying is that actually we thought of adopting the crown cap. You know, crown cap is like your soda water. जो सोडा बॉटल है उसकी तरह हमको कैप करना है, या तो फिर हम उसको रेन पूल कैप जैसा करना है, वो भी हम चाहते थे करना चाहते थे। लेकिन द मोमेंट यू डू दैट, जब आप करोगे, इट कम्स अंडर पैकेज वाटर स्टैंडर्ड। जो पैकेज वाटर है, जो बॉटल वाटर स्टैंडर्ड, वो उसको अप्लाई करता है। और जब वो करेंगे तो फिर BIS will come to your premises. They will treat your water treatment plant as a bottling facility, और आपको बार बार वो उनके इंस्पेक्शंस को फेस करना पड़ेगा, रिपोर्ट जनरेट करने पड़ेंगे आपको, उनको माइक्रोबियल वाटर टेस्टिंग रिपोर्ट लैब के सबमिट करने पड़ेंगे। वो उस पर आ जाएगा। सो FSSAI has given an option, आपको वो करने की जरूरत नहीं। आपका जो प्लांट है, यू मे नॉट ट्रीट दैट एज अ बॉटलिंग प्लांट, आप उसमें पानी भर लो जो पानी IS 1050 जो स्टैंडर्ड्स को मीट करता हो। ये स्टैंडर्ड क्या है? ये स्टैंडर्ड ये है कि उसमें कोई जंतु नहीं होना चाहिए, कोई बैक्टीरिया नहीं होना चाहिए, इट शुड नॉट हैव एनी chemical contamination. You need to have reports on this in your file for inspection, that's all. And this water of this grade can be filled into your bottles, but you cannot seal it. The point which I mentioned there is that you cannot seal it with a permanent seal like your ring cap or your billa. Okay, it will mean to ceiling. You can use something which is fitted with hand, like your swing ring, your swing cap, or your luck cap, which I showed you earlier, which is hand twisted. So you can reuse that again and again. That's what it means. So does it answer that? Okay. So there the surety or purity of water is assured from the bottling facility at the hotel. So this is one of our endeavor where we made this product specifically to deal with plastic in the hospitality industry. The product is Indian Quencher, which I will go and take you quickly. This was introduced just in time where our government put their foot down and said that no using plastic bottles and try to avoid use plastic bottles wherever you can, whether it is the hotel industry or your public places, wherever it is. And that is the time where the hospitality industry woke up and said, give us solution. We are now under tremendous pressure to switch on from plastic bottle to glass bottle. So we need a product. And fortunately, we were working on this concept just in time. That's why I said introduce just in time. And this product that you see is semi-automatic, very compact, 1.4 by 1.7 by 1.7 meter. It can make 150 bottles per hour. It has got a crushing facility with soap. It got a rinsing facility with soap water, filling, capping, and even sanitizing. You see the next slide. You have the bottling apparatus in the left-hand side, and you have a sanitizing kind of a cupboard rather. Basically, there are trolleys inside where you place the bottle, push it inside, push the button. There are UV sanitizing systems outside. So not only the water is pure from inside, even from outside, the bottle has got a complete kill. So now the bottle that comes out now is sanitized from outside, and there's pure water from inside. So from today's scenario, from the COVID scenario point of view, also this is ready. This says that bottle is ready for serving. Now on, it all depends how it is handled. So this is a product that I'm talking about, which will make bottling free of plastic. And this is how it looks. What I'm talking about is you have bottles with a seal and a seal of the organization who makes it, probably a date of manufacturing. Incidentally, these bottles cannot be sold outside. It is meant for internal consumption only. So you can make these bottles. You cannot sell it outside. It is meant for captive consumption in the premises. Right in time, I said just in time, and we have reached out to so many ITC group hotels, almost 19 hotels in India, the Rajputana, Jaipur, Maurya, Delhi, Kohinoor, ITC Chola, Chennai, and many others. And they were working rather, but in view of the COVID, they were shut down. So we have a massive process now of starting these plants once again, sanitizing them, and starting this facility once again. So that's the scenario there. Now, just a little word on packaged water and drinking water for information. So on the left, you have packaged natural mineral water, and the standards that apply. The Indian standard is IS 13428. What it means is that this is a water packed from natural sources with minerals in it, and it has to meet certain criteria with respect to contaminations of microbes and chemicals. The next one you have is IS 14543, which is for packaged water. It is not mineral water from these natural sources. It is basically packaged water, which can be any run from RO process, UV process, and packed inside. It has different criteria for packaging, and it is subject to BIS inspection at the bottling plant. The third one which you see, which is the Indian Quencher, the water has to meet IS 10500 standard, which is also very tight. It is very tight. Mind you, it's not easy, because even now, when we have bottled water, they ask us, what is the shelf life of this water? When you put it in that swing cap, and we say shelf life is not less than 7 days, it is more than 7 days. That's the guarantee we give. And in terms of microbial contamination, chemical contamination, all this has to be handled. So this IS 10500 deals with this kind of standard, where it ensures that the water you drink is pure. Okay, finally, your big way towards plastic-free bottling. Now, these are your final steps, your goals, if you want to make the environment plastic-free. Okay, so we'll see what it is. First thing is you have to say a big no to plastic bottle. This is the biggest temptation. Where somebody offers you water bottle for free, for example, on a sports campus, or when you're in a lounge of a hotel. The temptation is that yes, this small bottle I will accept as a courtesy and I will consume it. So if there is a no from us, probably even at a hotel reception, people will serve you in the same glass bottles. This is the first thing we have to do. Second is for outdoor, there are many options. For example, if you have these bubble tops and you have a small manually operated system, battery operated, you can dispense water in your paper cups, if you see, and you can have plenty of these bottles. No plastic. All these bottles, the big ones, are reusable. This is one of it. Carry your own bottle. Carry your own bottle from home, from your office, pack good water into it and carry around. Probably you won't have to buy water from a shop. Okay, that's how you save the environment. And while traveling, you can have the option of a bottle with a built-in water purifier. There are water bottles available with a built-in water purifier. So you fill in water into that and suck from that. And these bottles are certified. So you have to check whether the bottle is certified for purification. There are many brands today with the certification that yes, if you put water, any tap water, and suck from that, you will get purified water. And the last one, which I've already spoke about, while traveling, when you move to maybe to a resort or your guest houses, wherever you travel, you can carry this, put onto your tap, and get bacteria-free water. Almost 6,000 liters of water. You can carry it very small. The size is so small. I'm holding it in my hand. Okay, so you can carry it in your bag and you can use it. So these are the options that we have got. This will save us from a lot of plastic disaster. The choice is ours. Okay, so I would like to say thank you for your patience and listening to me. And the last message that I have is that the world is saying, please help me smile. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Manocha ji.
Thank you, Clifford, for a insightful presentation. यदि हम देखें आज हमने क्या सीखा, जो भी मेरे लोग जुड़े हुए हैं, यदि हम देखें तो हमने आज ये समझा कि पानी में कितनी टाइप की इम्प्योरिटीज होती हैं, कुछ फिजिकल होती हैं, कुछ डिसॉल्व होती हैं और कुछ बैक्टीरियोलॉजिकल होती हैं। और ये तीनों इम्प्योरिटीज को ट्रीट करने के लिए डिफरेंट टाइप की टेक्नोलॉजीज और डिफरेंट टाइप के कॉन्सेप्ट यूज किए जाते हैं। तो यदि आप पानी में सब कुछ ही निकालना चाहते हैं, आप सबसे महंगा जाके आरओ लेके आ जाइए, आपका सब कुछ निकल जाएगा पानी में। लेकिन यदि पानी में सिर्फ बैक्टीरिया निकालने की जरूरत है, दरकार है, तो आप वो छोटा सा अटैचमेंट लगा लीजिए जो कि आपको 5 या 10 पैसे लीटर में पानी दे देगा। और यदि पानी में कुछ और अच्छा करना है तो यूएफ बेस्ड टेक्नोलॉजी ले लीजिए, जिसमें कि पानी वेस्ट भी नहीं होगा और थोड़ा पैसा भी कम लगेगा। और हमारा ऑब्जेक्टिव ये होना चाहिए कि हम जितना पानी को सेव कर सकते हैं वो करें। टेक्नोलॉजी के लिए बहुत सारे हॉटलाइंस, फ्री लाइंस अवेलेबल है, आप लोगों से बात कर सकते हैं कि किस तरीके का सिस्टम चाहिए, आप उनसे एडवाइस ले सकते हैं। और एक इंडिपेंडेंट एडवाइस लेने के बाद में ही लगाइए। ऑब्जेक्टिव सिस्टम लगाना नहीं है, ऑब्जेक्टिव ठीक सिस्टम और राइट सिस्टम लगाना है और इन लोगों से लगवाना है जो कि रियली हम एनवायरनमेंट की कदर करते हैं और जो कि जिनको मालूम है कि किस तरीके के सिस्टम लगने चाहिए। हम ये गांव में यूज कर सकते हैं, शहरों में यूज कर सकते हैं, स्कूल में यूज कर सकते हैं। स्कूल में भी यदि हम एक प्रॉपर वाटर प्योरीफायर लगा दें और हम पेरेंट्स को एजुकेट करें कि आप बॉटल वाटर या प्लास्टिक डिस्पोजेबल बॉटल मत दीजिए, या कैंटीन में सिस्टम बना दे कि आपको प्लास्टिक की बॉटल नहीं बेचनी है, और जो हम ये ग्लास बॉटल का सिस्टम लगा रहे हैं ये सेफ है। आई थिंक धीरे धीरे एजुकेशन की साथ साथ लोग सीख जाएंगे। तो यदि हम प्लास्टिक को सेव करेंगे तो डेफिनेटली जो मैंने आपको बताया था कि 700 मिलियन स्पीशीज एक एक्सटिंग्विश के कगार में वो बच जाएंगी और हमको भी एक सेफ पानी मिलेगा, हम पानी को सेव कर पाएंगे। और जैसे हम आज देख रहे हैं कि जिस तरीके से आज इवन पानी को भी हम स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में ट्रेड करना शुरू कर दिया है अमेरिका में, तो ये दिन दूर नहीं कि पानी ऑयल तेल से भी महंगा हो जाएगा। तो विद दिस वर्ड मैं गुलशन जी को बोलता हूं कि वो आगे इस प्रोग्राम को संपन्न करें।
थैंक यू, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद अनिल मनोचा जी, एंड थैंक यू वेरी मच हमारे क्लिफोर्ड डिसूजा जी। बहुत अच्छे से आपने कार्यक्रम, एक्चुअली आज बहुत सारे लोग गांव के भी जुड़े हुए हैं, तो कुछ में बीच में प्रश्न थे तो वो मैंने उनको दे दिए। तो मैंने कहा भाई, उन्होंने मुझे रिक्वेस्ट किया कि थोड़ा सा हिंदी में भी करिएगा, ये ना हो कि आप पूरा अंग्रेजी में ले जाएं। मैंने कहा
यदि आप
नहीं,
पहले बोलते तो मैं हिंदी से शुरुआत करता।
नहीं, कोई ऐसा वो नहीं है। बहुत अच्छा, बहुत विस्तार से आपने बताया, बहुत डिटेल में बताया, और जो आपके विजुअल थे, जो आपकी स्लाइड थी, वो अपने आप में इतनी मतलब विस्तार पूर्वक थी कि लोगों को अच्छे से समझ आया सारी चीजें। और जितनी देर आपका इंटरनेट बीच में गड़बड़ा रहा था, उतनी देर में हमने फायदा उठा लिया, अनिल मनोचा जी को हमने घेर लिया, और वो सारी बातें जो है हमने अपने भाई बहनों तक पहुंचा दी। तो मेरे हिसाब से सभी को ये समझना होगा कि अच्छा शुद्ध पानी हमारे लिए कितना जरूरी है, हमारे जीवन के लिए कितना जरूरी है, और साथ ही में ये समझना होगा कि जल ही जीवन है, और साथ में जल संरक्षण भी जरूरी है। और दूसरा, हम सोचते रहें, हम सिर्फ घर की ही बात ना करें, क्योंकि शिक्षा की प्रणाली में हम जुड़े हुए हैं और हमारे ज्यादातर कार्यक्रम शिक्षा के साथ हो रहे हैं। तो स्कूलों के अंदर भी, कॉलेजेस के अंदर भी, यूनिवर्सिटी के अंदर भी, पॉलिटेक्निक के अंदर भी, आईटीआईज के अंदर भी, हर जगह पर, और यहाँ तक कि जो हमारे स्किल के सेंटर्स हैं, अभी 37 के करीब सेक्टर स्किल काउंसिल है भारत के अंदर। तो जहां जहां पर सेक्टर स्किल काउंसिल के ट्रेनिंग प्रोवाइडर्स हैं, मेरे हिसाब से हमें, देखिए, मैं चाहता तो सूखी एक यात्रा अपनी एजुकेशन की करता रहता, बाकी चीजों को ना जोड़ता। आप सोचिए, हमने आपके साथ सेहत की भी बातचीत की, आपकी हेल्थ की भी बातचीत की, और हमने पानी जल के बारे में भी बातचीत की, हमने आयुर्वेदा की भी बातचीत की। ये सारी चीजें हम क्यों लेके आए? ये इसलिए लेकर आए कि शिक्षा के पूरे सिस्टम के अंदर इस चीज का महत्व है, इस चीज को समझना होगा। और हमें सिर्फ यही नहीं सोचना कि स्कूल में एक नलके से पानी गिर रहा है, टुप टुप कर रहा है, तो उसका वॉशर बदल दे और काम खत्म हो गया। और आज मैंने देखो, अब यही बात है ना, ये बातें कितनी समझने वाली है। आज क्लिफर्ड साहब की एक स्लाइड देखने के बाद मुझे पहली बात ये लगा कि भाई 72 साल की उम्र तक आते आते ये क्यों नहीं समझ आया कि ऊपर वॉश बेसिन है और उसी के सामने डब्ल्यूसी लगी हुई है। ये तो मैंने आज पहली बार उस तरीके से देखा। लेकिन सिर्फ इनसे ये समझना होगा कि फिर मैं वॉश बेसिन तक जाऊंगा कैसे, वो थोड़ा सा एक चैलेंज है। ये तो नहीं कि दूर खड़ा होकर काम करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि वो आपका कॉन्सेप्ट बड़ा अच्छा था कि पीछे आपका वॉश बेसिन था और पूरा वाटर का अरेंजमेंट था जैसे हमारे वॉश बेसिन में होता है, और आगे वाले हिस्से में नीचे में टॉयलेट आपका डब्ल्यूसी लगा हुआ था। तो वो बात तो बहुत खूबसूरत लगी कि दोनों चीजें इकट्ठी हो जाएं। लेकिन किसी भी इंसान को खड़ा होने के लिए जितनी जगह चाहिए होती है, तो उसमें क्या उतनी जगह हो जाती है, या डब्ल्यूसी के आसपास आप दोनों तरफ टांगे फैला के खड़े हो जाए और फिर ब्रश करें? ये मुझे नहीं पता है कि कैसे करना है, क्या करना है। और दूसरा जो सेंसर है, उसके बारे में भी कई लोगों के मेरे को प्रश्न आए कि आपने कह तो दिया कि भाई हाथ आगे कर दो तो उतना पानी आ जाएगा, हाथ हटा लोगे तो पानी बंद हो जाएगा। मैं सिंपल भाषा में, साधारण भाषा में बोलूं, लेकिन उन्होंने फिर अगला सवाल मुझसे ये कहा कि ये बताओ कि घर में नलके में सेंसर लगाने के पैसे कितने लगेंगे। तो मैंने कहा भाई मेरे को इसके बारे में नहीं पता है, मैं अनिल मनोचा जी से और क्लिफर्ड जी से बातचीत करके अगले सप्ताह आपको बताऊंगा, क्योंकि कुछ चीजें मैं भी जानना चाहूंगा, समझना चाहूंगा। और फिर हम इस पूरे प्रोसेस को, मैं तो ये कहता हूं कि कहीं ना कहीं ये जितनी बातें हम कर रहे हैं, ये बातें हमारी शिक्षा की प्रणाली में जुड़ी होनी चाहिए। ये अलग से क्यों हो, इनके बारे में अलग से चर्चा क्यों हो? इन सब चीजों को प्रिंसिपल्स को, टीचर्स को, एजुकेटर्स को, स्किल डेवलपर को, उन सबको इसके बारे में पता होना चाहिए। तो इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं अनिल मनोचा साहब का और क्लिफर्ड डिसूजा साहब का बहुत बहुत धन्यवादी हूं कि आज का कार्यक्रम बहुत अच्छा था, बहुत खूबसूरत, बहुत बढ़िया से, और हमारी जीवन शैली के साथ जुड़ा हुआ था। अब इसको हम अपने स्कूल, कॉलेजेस और यूनिवर्सिटी में किस तरीके से जोड़ें और इसको प्रैक्टिकल वे में कैसे लेकर चलें, क्योंकि मैं ये समझता हूं और हो सकता है मेरी तो मंद बुद्धि है और मैं एक गांव का रहने वाला हूं और मैं गांव से ही खुश हूं। मैं शहर की जिंदगी को पसंद ही नहीं करता हूं और गांव की जीवन में ही मुझे लगता है कि खेत में जाऊं, अपनी गाजर उखाड़ूं और वहीं उसको धोऊं और उसको खा लूं, उससे बढ़िया कोई अच्छी चीज नहीं है। ये सारा संसार घूमने के बाद ये समझ आ गया है कि मेरा जो जीवन है वो कहीं ना कहीं मेरी ऑर्गेनिक खेती के साथ और मेरे गांव के, इसीलिए हमने B2B की अपनी डेफिनेशन चेंज कर ली है। इट इज नो मोर बिजनेस टू बिजनेस, इट इज बैक टू बेसिक्स। अगर बैक टू बेसिक्स में आ जाएंगे तो कोरोना के बाद, अरे भाई ज्यादा खर्चा करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है। जो बेसिक जरूरत है उन सबको, जितने भी दर्शक, जितने भी लोग, जितने भी वक्ता हमारे इसको प्रोग्राम को देख रहे हैं, आप अपने जीवन को साधारण से जीजिए और अपने जीवन को जितना साधारण बनाएंगे उतनी परेशानियां कम होंगी। जब हमारे खर्चे बढ़ जाते हैं तो परेशानियां भी बढ़ जाती हैं, क्योंकि ये पूरा एक साइकिल है जिसको हम लेकर चलते हैं। तो हमें कुछ चीजों को समझना होगा। अब दूसरा, जैसे एक छोटी सी बात है, सॉरी मैं 1 मिनट और ले रहा हूं। जैसे लोग कहते थे, अब ये रोज बच्चे आते थे स्कूल के और कॉलेज के, हम 6 बच्चों को रोज बुलाते थे अपने टॉप में करते हैं और बच्चों को बोलते थे, कहते शावर से मत नहाइए, बकेट से नहाइए। अरे भाई, शावर में आगे एक सिस्टम लग गया है जिससे शावर का पानी बकेट से आधा आता है। ये समझने की बात है। मैं आजकल होटल्स में जाता हूं तो पुराना सिस्टम खत्म हो गया है, उसमें एक स्प्रिंकलर इफेक्ट आता है। हाथ करता हूं और स्प्रिंकलर तब देता है और स्प्रिंकलर में से उतना ही पानी आता है जितने की जरूरत है, पानी वेस्टेज है ही नहीं। हर चीज के अंदर नेसेसिटी इज द मदर ऑफ इन्वेंशन। जीवन में ही हर चीज का खोज है और जीवन को जितना हम समझने की कोशिश करेंगे, और मुझे तो ये लगता है कि
Seems to be a problem there.
लगता है गुलशन जी का हैंग हो गया है। तो हम लोग डेफिनेटली अगले फ्राइडे को बात करेंगे, जो कि हमारे इश्यूज आप लोगों ने बताए हैं सेंसर के वाटर में, और जो टॉयलेट के साथ वॉश बेसिन कैसे लगाएं। हमने सिर्फ कॉन्सेप्ट ही बताया था अपने लोगों को, उसको कैसे मैनेज करें वो अपन नेक्स्ट टाइम देखेंगे। ठीक है, हाँ जी। गुलशन जी आप आएंगे तो अच्छा होगा, समापन कीजिए इसका। आई थिंक वी आर स्टिल ऑनलाइन, लाइव है अभी हम लोग, क्लिफर्ड।
Yes.
So if Gulshan ji comes, then it's very good.
Well, these sensors are talking about, you know, the touch sensors. आजकल वो कोविड सिचुएशन में सब जगह पे लगे हैं।
नहीं, बहुत आसान है। वही मैंने कहा कि चलो नेक्स्ट टाइम थोड़ा और डिटेल में बात कर लेंगे। ये डिफिकल्ट नहीं है, आपको सिर्फ मेरे हिसाब से टैप चेंज करना पड़ेगा। और यदि हम पानी को सेव करना चाहते हैं तो इतना तो हमने जेब के ऊपर लोड डाल ही सकते हैं कि अच्छा सा टैप दिख जाए हमारा।
वो कंप्लीट रेडी सेट आता है सेंसर के साथ,
कंप्लीट रेडी सेट आता है, वो एग्जिस्टिंग टैप को चेंज कर। जैसे हमारा एलईडी का रिवॉल्यूशन अपने देश में आया, कॉमन बल्ब को हमने एलईडी में रिप्लेस किया और हम लोगों ने इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बचाई 60 से 70%। वही हमें पानी में काम करना, और जितना जल्दी हम करेंगे उतना ही हमारे देश के लिए वो अच्छा रहेगा।
वैसे बाथरूम में तो, वैसे वॉशरूम में आप देखते हैं मोस्ट ऑफ वॉशरूम में होता है वो
करेक्ट
एयरपोर्ट्स में, लेकिन ये घर के लिए काफी इकोनॉमिकल सेट्स आए हैं जो विच आर मच कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव, और वो आप खुद लगा सकते हैं. तो देयर इज अ चेंज इन कॉस्टिंग आल्सो नाउ.
करेक्ट. नेक्स्ट टाइम अपन शेयर करेंगे उसकी कॉस्टिंग लोगों से, जो भी पता नहीं एग्जैक्टली मालूम नहीं है, आपसे मेरे को डिटेल लेनी पड़ेगी. तो नेक्स्ट टाइम हम उनको शेयर कर देंगे कि क्या हो सकता है, कैसे हो सकता है. देन बेस्ड ऑन दैट विल वर्क.
राइट.
तो
I think Dr. Gulshan is disconnected. Is he there online?
Not yet. I cannot see him. ठीक है, हम लोग निकलते हैं फिर. नमस्ते.
Yes, we can conclude on this. Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you all the participants.
Thank you all of you as participants.
Okay.
It's a pleasure.
I'll end now. Clifford from here.